So I'm just gonna assume you already know what Granny is. If you were around, like, 2018, 2017, like, peak mascot horror era, back when, like, Five Nights at Freddy's 6 was the next thing coming out, you would know what Granny is. I assume most of my audience either was around back then, or weren't even born then. But that's besides the point. If you weren't born then, this video will help you understand. And if you were, then this video will either be nostalgic or fuel you with undeniable rage. A little backstory for this hit YouTuber, Chronicle Ban #1 hater. Also that one racist alien in the bar in Ban 7, but this isn't a Ban video. You're not getting one of those for at least another 3 videos. He, last year, like the final day of the year, I think, made a Granny video, but he had been leading up to it all year. So last November, I decided, hey, what if I start making my own, and then beat him to it? I could have, like, a funny video. And then, that was November. It's almost July now. I think you can see that did not work out in the slightest. But, yeah, without further ado, let's get into my Granny video. The definitively worst one. If you want a quality video, you can go watch Yes. If you want something to turn your brain off to, you should probably also go watch Yes. That one's like a half hour longer than this one. So, if you know anything about Granny, you know that the goal is to escape the house that you're locked in with psychopathic old people. Thankfully, you are given shotguns, but that'll come important later. Wait for Granny 2 for that one. All the games are going to be in this one video, so you better buckle up. Now might be a good time to mention how items work in Granny. It's not your typical randomly generated stuff. Instead, you have seeds, but there's only like 6 of them. So it is really easy to find everything if you are just know where one item is, pretty much. Unfortunately, I'm stupid, and I, instead of remembering everything, didn't do that. Instead, what I did was live like a little parasite, stealing all of Granny's resources one little bit at a time, spreading out from my hidey hole, until eventually I had every item in the house, and could just use what I needed, where I needed it. If you ever make a Granny video of your own, or just play the Granny games, I would definitely recommend the parasite strategy. It's not the best. Actually being smart and remembering things is, but if you're like me and not capable of that without, like, dying due to your brain being overloaded or whatever, definitely recommend just being a parasite. Very fun, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Something I wouldn't recommend, though, is playing this on your phone like I did, especially if you're doing it for content. It is how the game was initially made to be played, but it sucks. It's really, the controls are really bad. Like, definitely, if you can get the PC build. I know the mobile builds are free. Don't know about the PC builds. You do get some pretty weird ads on there. A little heads up, just so you know. Not the PC build, that's not even allowed on Steam, but still, the weird ads if you play it on your phone, be ready. Granny is the type of game I'd say everyone needs to experience in some form at least once. It's not very good. It's not bad by any means. It's just not perfect. This is not Game of the Year. I'm telling you this right now. Sorry, all 4 people who are rooting for Granny to win Game of the Year. It's not happening. You should probably go to a mental hospital and get checked out, because wanting Granny to win Game of the Year is definitely something you should get professional help with. As you can see in the footage right there, there's a car in the game. This is actually one of 3 endings. One of them is bust down the front door, murder everything in your path, and leave. The second one is bust down the garage door, hit everything in your path with a car, and then leave. And another one is Resident Evil. There's actually this one spot down in the basement, the aforementioned hidey hole, that makes it really easy to bait Granny's AI around. Just make a noise in one side of the tunnel, then run to the other, and you essentially have a good minute and a half to do whatever you please if you don't make any more noise. But this is illegal, and if you're caught doing it in a Granny tournament, you will be executed on the spot and have your balls ripped off. You could actually see me using this strategy right here, but I was not in a tournament, so I am still alive and my balls are still intact. As you can see here, it doesn't work 100% of the time if Granny's already aggressive towards you. So you might need to work with it a little bit if you're already being chased, but if Granny's not chasing you, it should work most of the time. I would say 100% of the time, but I don't want it to not work for someone and they blame me. So 99% of the time it will work, and if it works 100% of the time, you did not hear that from me. That's propaganda from Freaky Tony. If I had to rank all the escapes from easiest to hardest, I would say Resident Evil, which is like a spider cage, is definitely the easiest. Then Car is middle, and Front Door is the hardest. This might change if you have the extra locks modifier on, but I didn't play with that. I barely did this in normal mode. This is easy mode as well. I'm just bad at video games, and I'm stupid. Alright, I know I said I'd talk about the shotgun when we get to Granny 2, but I just found part of it in the footage here. And there's more weapons in Granny 2, and there's another weapon in Granny 1 that's not in Granny 2, so, yeah, we're talking about a shotgun now, and no one can stop me. So I give to you the newest character in the More Cheese cinematic universe, Scotty the Shoddy, who vastly carried me through one of these games. It's been a while since I recorded the footage, so I don't know which one. I think it was Granny 2. But Scotty the Shoddy and another one that I'll get to later are the best characters in the franchise, right behind Yellow Chair and myself. Anyways, the way Scotty the Shoddy works is actually different in all three games. In the first game, you find chunks of him lying around and have to surgically put him back together, and he can only hold one bullet. In the second game, you have to find a weapon key to unlock the vault that he is locked inside of and rip and tear. And in the third game, you have to murder Grandpa. Next weapon, I don't even think I used at all, but it is probably better than the shotgun in the long run. It's a crossbow. It's not your normal one, though. This one's filled with drugs. What you do is you shoot the drug needles at the old lady, and then she gets knocked out cold. There's another weapon in this game. It's a bear trap with ice. Instead of a normal bear trap where it impales you and you have a really bad time, instead you will get sprayed with liquid nitrogen, turn into a solid statue of ice, and it can freeze you, which will just be the death penalty. But you can use it on Granny, push her down the stairs, and she explodes. There's two more weapons in the game, sorta, kinda, technically, but they both suck and should never be used because it's just way more hassle than it's worth, and/or it's worth nothing at all. Those being the sauna, where you
connection terminated.
With the sauna everyone just has in their basement and garage, because everyone has a garage in the basement. And the pepper spray, which does literally nothing but make Granny do a small animation for half of a second. Now that one of them is in the corner of the screen, I should mention that there are multiple animals you can find around Granny's house. There is the bird, which was the one on screen, and you can shoot it with Scotty the Shoddy to explode it, but this makes Granny angry. The arachnophobia warning, giant enemy spider, which is a giant enemy spider. And then also there's ghost rats if you play on more difficult difficulties. This right here is a painting piece. What they do is they spawn in on less difficult difficulties, and if you collect all of them, like Pokemon, and put them in the strange, mysterious basement hole, you get an extra life. Which means instead of lasting 5 days before getting decapitated or thrown in a blender or whatever, you get a whole extra day of life, which I'd probably blow anyway, because I'm stupid. Now I'm just going to be skipping around to make things go faster, but this little bear in the corner right there, his name is Teddy. Do not trust Teddy, he is a lie. When you pick him up, this makes Granny angry, just like the bird, but I'm going to explain what angry Granny does now. Her eyes turn red, your heart beats, which you can hear over everything else, so you have no sense of audio, and she homing missiles in on you. Will not stop until you're dead, or drop the teddy. So don't pick up the teddy, especially since it's useless. Teddy does nothing but make Granny angry. There's an Easter egg surrounding it. But guess what? That Easter egg does literally nothing. In the third game, Teddy gets more use, and I'll explain more about Teddy in that game when I get to that game. But Teddy, just don't touch him in the first game. You're just gonna die horribly if you do. Alright, arachnophobia warning starting now. Skip to the timestamp shown if that's a problem for you, but I'm going to continue now. So this is the spider cellar. It is my least favorite part of the game, not only because it's spiders, but also just because the gameplay down here is genuinely really bad. First off, there are 2 exits from the horrifying spider-filled room. One of them is this right here, and another one is in the sewer-like room underneath the tiny house in the backyard. And also there's that giant mutated face spider monster, and I hate it so much, and there's items that only spawn down here, and it's awful, and I hate them. One of the main reasons I hate the giant mutated spider face, despite it being a giant mutated spider face, is that this thing is no matter what you throw at it, be it shotguns, ice traps, or gasoline explosions, it will not die. However, one of my favorite parts about this section is gambling. So you go up this little elevator near the exit, this is what was Resident Evil by the way, and you find these little chests. You pick the wrong one, and well, now what you're supposed to do here is somewhere around the map randomly will spawn a note that tells you which chest is safe, but I prefer brute forcing it because gambling is funny and explosions are funny and it's funny, okay? Anyway, like instantly after respawning, this happened to me. Anyway, put up the arachnophobia warning again. We're going right back down there, baby. The thing I do when I get down there is watch this thing sort of stare at me for a few minutes, and then after that I head straight up to the chest and get the item. I'm not spending any more time down here than I need to. The item I got was a lever, which lets me raise the well and get a hammer out of it, because you know, everyone stores their hammers in their wells. I have 12 of them down there. I then use the hammer to get this plank of wood that I use as a bridge to cross a giant gap on the 3rd floor that would kill me if I fell down it, to get to a room with a giant jail cell that Granny has for some reason. This woman has everything but normal house features in her house. There's like one bathroom that doesn't work, but like you got jail cells, spider pits, hammer wells, garage basements. But now with the use of the hammer on the front door, there's only one more thing we need, the padlock key. And there's also like a master key item, but I think I already had that at this point. But guess where that padlock key is? That's right, throw up one last arachnophobia warning, folks. We're going right back to the basement. I get down to the basement, open up the padlock key area, and get ready to leave, but there's a problem. This thing is standing at the exit. Now there's another exit, thankfully, but I guess the giant spider monster gained sentience because it rapidly gave chase to me. But after a very tight squeeze, I managed to make it out just barely with the padlock key and make it to the exit, finally beating the first of these 3 games. Or so I thought. Turns out, while editing this, Granny 1, and only Granny 1, got a content update that added a new Halloween mode. Only Granny 1 got this, despite having 2 more recent sequels, one of which has never gotten a single content update. So, very quickly, we have Davy the Vomiting Skeleton, Bats, the ghost rats that I've mentioned before are now on every difficulty if you have Halloween turned on. Granny, although I played on practice mode so you won't see her, is dressed like a witch. There's a dead rat in the backyard next to a cauldron, and when you throw it in there, a ghost spawns, and I have no idea what it did. Pumpkins that stare at you everywhere, and these little skulls that maniacally laugh when you go near them, and also everything is like vomit green. Now, onto Granny 2. This game is probably my favorite of the trilogy. It has a brand new map that is the smallest out of all of them, a new main enemy in Grandpa, multiple new enemies around, different escape routes that are completely different from Granny 1's mostly, and new weapons, which, yeah, I really like the weapons in this game, which I'll get to. But first, let's talk about Grandpa. So, Granny cannot see very well, but she has masterclass hearing. So you'd think maybe Grandpa would be the opposite. Maybe he can't hear very well, but he can see you from, like, across the map. No, both of them suck. He can't see, and he can barely hear. The only things he can hear are, like, grenades going off, and the sound of his wife getting murdered. But his gimmick is that he's incredibly jacked. With that, he will knock you out for 2 days if he catches you. He also has 5 Nights at Freddy's. What I mean by that is that little weight key around his chest, you can actually take it by either murdering him or waiting for him to pass out on the couch because he's old. When you take that, you can go to his special security room that he uses to check cameras, but you can go in there and use those cameras. Only problem is Grandpa might kill you if you're in there, since he goes in there a lot, but it is also the only way to access my favorite ending in this game, which is hijacking Granny's attack helicopter, because again, she has the most regular things that everyone has in their houses. The other 2 escapes in this game are just out the front door, and hijacking Granny's boat she has in her sewers. That boat is actually guarded by one of the 2 new creatures in this game, the giant octopus, that also lives in the sewers, but can occasionally rip you into the water in the backyard. Also in the backyard is the other new creature, Horrifying Baby Man. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it, so I just... Anyway, introducing our second new character to the More Cheese cinematic universe, Thomas the Taser! The combined power of Thomas the Taser and Scotty the Shoddy 2-Barrel were enough to make me feel like a god while playing this, and that may have led to my downfall a little bit, but I still won. Oh yeah, and there's also like grenades you can use in this one, but they're not as fun. Now, allow me to teach you how to properly use the combo of Thomas the Taser and Scotty the Shoddy. What you want to do is never get them too far away from each other. You want to make sure they're both in easy grabbing range. You can reload the stick on Thomas as much as you want, and Scotty can hold 2 rounds. You want to use both Scotty's rounds on both grandparents, but keep him near Grandpa's security room, because he's needed up there. Thomas is your go-to guy for everything else. He works faster, he fires more, he's just better. There is a way to get unlimited ammo, but you cannot do the attack helicopter ending if you do it. So, yeah, your only source of consistently knocking them out is Thomas. Now, unfortunately, Thomas's ammo is very busted and will clip through walls all the time if you shoot one of the grandparents in the wrong way. But murder is perfectly fine, so just don't mess anything up. Now, in this game, the pieces of painting have an actual use. They're used to get to the attack helicopter in the attack helicopter ending. And as you can see, I have one right here. I think there's already one in there. Yeah. So you only have to find 2, typically, on easier difficulties at least. I messed this up right here because I jumped down without checking to see first if Granny was awake yet and got clubbed over the head. Now, on the second day, as soon as I respawned, I went straight to a hidey hole. 50% of my footage in this game has been trimmed because it's just me sitting in hidey holes. Went straight for Thomas the Taser, and then went full-on Doomslayer mode. I snuck up behind Grandpa here, shot him, stole my taser back because he gets lit on fire or something, unlocked this door, dropped down the sewer grate into the shower, was going to my other hidey hole, but then saw Granny, shot her, and stole my ammo back again. Anyways, I then find the last piece of the painting and take it up to the security room, unlocking the Scotty the Shoddy firing range, which is how you can get unlimited ammo because there's an ammo dispenser, but you have to beat the firing range to open the door, which turns off the ammo dispenser. Now, after you clear the firing range, it opens this big open room, which seems harmless, but there's actually a secret trap door, so you gotta place that little thing right there, but that gives you access to the helicopter. And all it needs is you knowing how to fly it, a little bit of duct tape, and some gasoline. And with that, I had done it. I had beaten Granny too. But I wasn't done yet. See, with the power of Scotty the Shoddy and Thomas the Taser, I already said I felt like a god, so I just wanted to rub it in Granny and Grandpa's face. I grabbed Scotty the Shoddy, loaded him up with the last bit of ammo he needed, and went on the hunt.
That's all I know. I could be a sinner, I could be a saint, perfectly devoid of anything I aim. I could be a martyr, I could be a cause, I can be whatever everybody wants. Oh, I could be a canvas, I could be a doll, I don't think I'm even something real at all. I could be a woman, I could be a man, look into the mirror, tell me what I am. Oh, I could be a difference, I could be the same, try to give me meaning, it's a losing game. Oh, I could go to heaven, I could go to hell, does it even matter, I could never tell. Oh, maybe I am nothing, maybe I am all. Except before I get that started, I can hear the messages, they just don't let me. I can bear the solitary, don't forget me. I can read the messages, they come so slowly. I don't know a single thing and I'm so lonely. I don't get the messages, they don't come to me. Everything that I can say is spoken for me, yeah.
Now, on to the final game, Granny 3, which has an opening cutscene actually, which reveals the real goal of this game. Rescue Scotty. Yeah, there's escape and all, but at the end of the cutscene, we see Grandpa has stolen Scotty. He's kidnapped him. They're keeping him hostage. Yeah, we're here as a hostage too, but I'm more worried about him. We gotta get him back. We gotta style on him some more. Me and Scotty, we gotta take these old people out once and for all. We're gonna put holes through their faces. I would like to apologize for what I said. I don't actually want to shoot two old people in the face, and I am deeply sorry. But 3! That's right, baby, we got 3 things to take care of this time. Granny, who's the exact same, Grandpa, who's using Scotty the Shoddy against us, and their horrific ghost daughter thing. Slendrina, I think she was called. She had her own, 10 games before Granny even came out. Maybe I'll make another video on those eventually, maybe. She is what the Easter egg in Granny 1 with Teddy was that I said I was gonna wait till Granny 3 to talk about. Teddy returns in this game. And if you drop Teddy in the baby crib upstairs, just like in Granny 1, it kills Slendrina this time. So since she's a ghost, we can't shoot her, unfortunately, which means my stand is still wrong. But we do still get to murder 3 people. Speaking of Slendrina, her and Granny instantly tag teamed me upon me leaving the basement. But day 2, I decided to not get jumped, and found matches instantly. Now, the bird is back in this game, and matches are how you get rid of it, by burning firewood underneath the chimney it's nested on, but you know how I like to take care of that bird. On top of the bird, there's also 2 more creatures this time around. An alligator, or crocodile, I can't tell, in the moat outside of the house, because, again, Granny has the same house that everyone has, because this is the most normal house ever. And the robot that lives in the train station in the basement that will maul you if you don't have a ticket. Do I even need to say it at this point? Now, this food elevator I'm taking here is not available on harder difficulties because it's sort of like the hidey hole that I was hiding in for 50% of Granny 2. It is like that on steroids because it can move you from floor to floor. It is way too broken. Now, here I found Teddy, which still makes Granny angry. It actually makes Grandpa angry too now. But the food elevator happens to take you right next to where the Teddy drop-off point is. So you can just take that elevator up after finding Teddy and instantly murder Slendrina. Now, this is our final new weapon. This is the slingshot. It does not get a name. It serves one purpose. Help us get Scotty. See, the slingshot has a cool little gimmick. It's non-lethal most of the time. It's not lethal all the time, but like as close to lethal as we can get. These people can tank shotgun blasts and gasoline explosions. They are not mortal. But it doesn't knock them out if it hits them anywhere but the head. If it hits them in the head, it knocks them out. So we hit Grandpa with the slingshot in the forehead, and we can get Scotty back. The slingshot is also required to knock some, like, flower pots down to use them for one of the puzzles, but it's not used any point after that. How it works is it can hold up to 3 ammo at a time, but you have to go outside and pick the little rocks off the ground to use them yourself. Anyway, I killed the bird, dropped Scotty in the safe room, and dropped the shed key down next to the shed. Inside the shed, I find the building's power generator, which needs a cable, and an accelerator. This is so we can move the... I open the safe in the bathroom and find the train key. What, you thought I was gonna play the train horn again? No, I'm not gonna hit you with another jump scare. I then have the most Scooby-Doo chase ever. So I see Grandpa go down into the basement, but decide I'm still gonna test it. Yeah, I'm still gonna try and get this train key down to the train. See Grandpa turn this corner exactly where I need to go. So I figure if I just crouch, he won't see me. So I'm over here stalking Grandpa, which, yeah, that's how the last game went. He sees me, so I sprint around the corner again, past the doors, up the stairs, turn this corner, go up these stairs, see Granny up there, quickly 180 into the kitchen, shimmy past a bear trap, actually make it to the kitchen this time, and just barely scoop my way into the food elevator. I guess I decided to go all hunter mode again, because I grabbed Scotty, loaded him up, started banging him on the floor to lure Granny over. As soon as I saw her, shot her through the head, turned the corner, tried luring Grandpa over, but he's too deaf to notice. So I ran out into the hallway where he was just chilling and shot him too. I then head down to the train level, go into this little side room that I broke open with slingshot before, and find this fuse, which will be important later, but also important right now is this crowbar, which I take and use on one of the 2 crowbar boxes in the house. Again, perfectly normal thing to have in your house. And find that missing cord from the generator earlier. I run out to the shed, put the cable in the generator, and now that means I can turn off the security in the house. So I can turn off the security camera and use all kinds of other things. This would be what activates the food elevator if I was playing on a harder difficulty, but I'm a baby and played all 3 of these games on easy mode. After giving Granny the quick Abraham Lincoln treatment, I wait a little bit for Grandpa, see him, miss, run back to the kitchen in a panic, grab another shell, turn the corner, see him right there, and then by pure instinct, shoot and kill him. I then got harassed by the little robot by the train, which you can kill, by the way, it's just I didn't have any shells. Go into the little cupcake shop next to the train station in the basement, a completely normal house, drop Scotty in a little tunnel, grab this plank, and go to use it all the way up on the 3rd floor. After I use the bridge, I find a hand crank, which is actually the last thing I need for the exit. So I run it downstairs, hook it up to the fence outside, release the drawbridge, again, perfectly normal thing to have in your house, don't worry. Go down to the basement, grab the fuse, take it up to the 3rd floor, put it in the security system, power off the security system, and finally leave the final game. So, this video has been a very long time coming. Like I said, I've been working on this since last November, so that's almost a year at this point. It might be a year at this point, since this November is almost over. But I just want to thank you if you actually watched this for how long it's taken me to make this. You deserve a quality video, and I really hope I delivered. So just, thank you.